Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to That's a Shoot, a weekly episodic show where I talk about what's going on in the world of professional wrestling. And today's topic is a doozy. It's one that everybody's talking about. Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes. Who should get the match at WrestleMania? Well, I'm here to tell you why Cody is and always has been the choice. So let's get into it. First off, I want to apologize if this video it's stocky in movement. I don't know why I had to use it's just a whole bunch of things. It's one of the reasons why I can't do reactions to things anymore. It's all type of broken down and everything like that. So whatever it is, right? But with that being said, um, you can still hear me, and I'm not doing any overlays or anything like that you need to know. So, if the video gets too much for you, you can at least like if you listen to it on your laptop, you can pull up another tab and just listen. Or if you're listening on your phone, you push your phone aside, listen, do whatever you want to do, right? So, but here we are talking about Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn, right? And here's why Cody Rhodes was always the choice, even though there were rumors that when Vince McMahon was in charge, he didn't have any plans of Cody Rhodes winning the WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship, in particular at this year's WrestleMania. He didn't have any plans for that. But the story was still there, and the story was all about the chase for Cody Rhodes to get to that way where he could become the Universal Champion, right? Um, and he came out the night after WrestleMania. He told the story about how his father didn't get the opportunity to win. It's the only title that escaped his father's hands. And even though there was at one point to where at Madison Square Garden, he thought he had won. He had basically um, thought he had won the WWE Championship, but because it was a countout, and you don't win the championship via countout, that he did not hold it. He won the match, did not win the championship. And it was Cody's goal to one day win their championship, bring it back home to his father, and just say, here is what the Rhodes family legacy is that WWE championship. Goldust didn't get the opportunity. His brother Dustin, he didn't. Dusty Rhodes didn't get the opportunity. Cody was gonna make that opportunity happen, right? And great promo, great story, talking about everything, how much this means to him, because this is all about his father. And then, of course, we had the Seth Rollins stuff, and the Seth Rollins stuff was awesome and epic. Had the unfortunate injury of tearing his pec, wrestled with that at Hell in a Cell, and had had surgery, been out for several months, right? Now, while he was out over those several months, there was another storyline happening where in which Sami Zayn losing at WrestleMania to um, Johnny Knoxville was trying to do anything to gain his respect back, to gain his confidence back, right? And he thought, well, what better way to get his respect back, get his dignity back, than to be a part of the bloodline and to help the bloodline. And as we saw on Run 30, he did very things to help the bloodline. Playing Roman's music when Roman wasn't there to distract and help the Usos retain the championships. He did a lot of things. The honorary Us, as he was then called, and everything like that. Now, it didn't it didn't spark up until Triple H came by. And even when Triple H came by, I think Sammy said it. It was something where um, the night that he thought it wasn't going anywhere, and he kind of needed to pivot. But it was one night. It was one night the what it was, and I forget what night he said it was, but it was the night where he said, "Bam, it's clicked. It clicked, and he got it, and he felt it, and he's like, we got to go through this." And they've done some great work. All of the stuff with that great promo when he told Jay to take off the bloodline shirt, and then he had another shirt for him, the honorary Uce shirt, things like and all the things that were going on, and each and every thing that happened to them, right, and everything that has happened from that point on to the Survivor Series match where he helped them win, and then the match on last at the end of the year against John Cena, and then the stuff that has come around, and then everything that has happened that has made this feel awesome and great, and it made it be one of the greatest storylines, if not the best storyline that wrestling has ever seen in this, and it's so good and it's so great. And I think a lot of people have done kind of think, well, the way the storyline ends is for Sami Zayn to dethrone Roman Reigns, but that's not the case. That's not necessarily how the storyline needs to end. The storyline needs to end with Roman Reigns seeing the error of his ways, seeing the error of his ways, and he doesn't see the error of his ways by Sami Zayn beating him. That's not. He doesn't even see the error of his ways by Cody Rhodes beating him. He sees the error of his ways by his family beating him, and I think and that's great. And I think that's where they're going to go at some point when they did this at the Royal Rumble, the angle and everything, and Jay walk out on him. I think that's just great. I think this is what's going to happen. This is just for me. At some point down the line, I do think Sami is going to get another crack at Roman Reigns. He's got next week at the Elimination Chamber in Montreal, his hometown. There's no doubt. I think he's going to get beat. I think they are going to do Roman and Sami at Roman and Cody at WrestleMania. It's yeah. I don't think they're going to change that. And I think one of the reasons that I don't think they're going to change that is because of um, the Daniel Bryan thing. They changed things around so that they could do Daniel Bryan, and what happens in quick time? He gets injured. He gets injured. Now, that's not saying that Sami Zayn is going to get injured or anything like that, but I think that if they get plans for this championship, and Cody can get injured quickly again, and anything like that, Roman can still get it if he gets injured. Because I'm not necessarily I'm 50-50 on whether Roman Reigns will lose, and we can talk about that in a minute as well. But I think down the line, there's going to be a match, another match between Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. And I think in that match, Jay Uso, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, someone they won't be there to help him. They won't be there. Now you can say, well, Roman Reigns doesn't need help to beat Sami Zayn. Yes, of course. But that doesn't mean that Sami won't have help. He may have his, at that time, WWE Tag Team Champion, tag partner, Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens might help him. And then maybe because of something that Roman says, the rest of the bloodline is like, no, that's not anything. That's so I think that's you know they're going to do anything and everything that they can to you know make sure that Sami does get his revenge over Roman Reigns at some point. Now, what better way is it for Roman Reigns' family to have turned against him? He then loses to Sami Zayn. He gets mad, and then he he challenges the bloodline, but the bloodline turns on him, jumps him, and then and one of them have a match. And this started with Jey Uso. Jey Uso. The bloodline thing started with Jey Uso, and how because he was the heavyweight, the Universal Champion, he gave his cousin a shot at the title, and he wanted to beat it into him, to show to him that who he was and what he was, that he was the head of the table, the tribal chief of their family. And then not only did he do that at Clash of Champions, he then went to Hell in a Cell in an I Quit match and beat Jay Senses, where Jay could not say I quit. Then have Jimmy come down. And Jimmy breaking the wall. This is not Jimmy and Jay. This is John and Joshua. This is John and Joshua. Joe, what are you doing? And the emotion and the fakeness, and then when he finally heads up and he locks in the guillotine onto what's his face, onto onto Jimmy, and Jey Uso quits. And the stipulation was that if Jey Uso would quit, he would then fall in line to the bloodline and be the right hand man. And that could be where they have to go, to where Jey Uso does this, and then maybe that can be a marquee matchup at WrestleMania 40, where it's Jay versus Roman, for head of the bloodline. Who knows, right? That's the story they're telling there with this whole thing. Sami and Kevin Owens it's kind of just a side street, kind of like a detour on the road that they're trying to go to, and give them credit because they've decided that that's the way they're going to go, and they've done it effectively and amazingly, almost perfect the way they've done it. But again, that's not the story. That's not the story that they're telling with the bloodline. And then now this comes back to Cody Rhodes, right? And now Cody comes back off of wins the Royal Rumble, and has an opportunity now to take on, as he says, the best superstar in the world, the best in the world, Roman Reigns, the head of the table, the tribal chief, the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world, right? And we know the story. We know it from last year. And then, boy, oh boy, this past Monday, what did they do? They made it even better, even personal. Maybe shooting a little bit, maybe a little bit scripted, and a little bit of a shoot. But boy, they made it even better. And even the staunchest Sami Zayn fans who who would want Sami to win their championship, and he can still win it. It's up to Sami to stay hot. It's up to the federation to continue his hot streak, help him out, continue to be hot. He should not be losing any. Once he loses to Roman Reigns, he should not be losing any matches that doesn't make any sense. He shouldn't lose a match to Santos Escobar on a random Friday night in July, just to set up them versus thing, or he should not be losing to the Judgment Day. He should not be losing to Dominic Mysterio or something like that. They need to keep him white hot. so that when it comes time, they could go that direction next year for Mania if they wanted to. But this is this year's Mania, and this is about Cody Rhodes. And I mentioned this a while ago that I'm not necessarily sure that Cody Rhodes will win. Most people are thinking that's how they go. If they're going to do Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, that Cody should win. But again, not necessarily do that. You know, Jim Cornette and Brian Last on their podcast, they have mentioned that not giving Cody the championship could make him look like Lex Luger, and I don't necessarily agree with that. I really don't, and here's why. I think it depends on how you do it, right? I think one of the things that make it seem rightly is that he won by countout. Lex Luger. Lex Luger beat Yokozuna by countout. He didn't get screwed over. They didn't, as they say in the business, fuck the babyface, right? That didn't happen. But they can do that with Cody. They could fuck the babyface at WrestleMania in the WrestleMania main event, and still have Roman Reigns come out on top with the undisputed championship. Now, here's why I'm 50-50 on whether they're going to do that. They're going to have Cody beat Roman Reigns. It's because they continue to give the days of the title reigns. They've said it to Usos. Usos has a 500 and some odd day reign, 560 day some odd reign. Roman Reigns hasn't. He is. I think he's now up to 997 counting today. 897. Excuse me. 3 days away from being to 900. Now, months ago, I did the math, and if my math is correct, Monday, May 29th, that's Memorial Day. That will be the day that Roman Reigns would hit 1,000 days as champion, at least for the Universal Championship. Now, there's been some talk about splitting titles and everything like that. At this point, I don't see any logical way that they could split the titles where Cody Rhodes would just wrestle for the WWE Championship and Roman Reigns would just wrestle for the Undisputed Championship. There have been many people who have given their opinions on this on Twitter and on podcasts and on YouTube channels and things like that. Where they're talking about where it could be like the triple threat match from WrestleMania 2000 with Angle and Benoit and Jericho, where Angle went in with the Intercontinental and European Championship, right? And he lost both, but was never pinned. Jericho pinned Benoit for one. Benoit pinned Jericho for one, and that's how you could do this here. You could have a triple. You can add Sami into the main event, triple threat for both titles. You can have Cody come out with the WWE Championship, and Roman would still retain the Universal Championship, so he would still continue to be the Universal Champion for that long streak. I'm personally not a fan of that. Me personally, I feel that this is we are at the point now where we're at you know I don't even know why they went back to the brand split. I think the brand split it was dead 5 or 6 years into it. 5 or 6 years into it, and then they did stop it, and then they brought it back in 2016. I think it's been the worst thing. All the titles, but here's the thing: I can deal with the brand split, but the championships is what gets me. There should be one women's champion, one heavyweight champion, and one tag team champion. And I've said this a million times on this channel, and they're the ones that could float from show to show. And I even think that even right now, if they do have Cody beat Roman at WrestleMania, Cody can. I don't think there's anything that Cody wouldn't say. I think Cody would be very happy floating from show to show, right? Being on Raw, being on SmackDown. I don't think he has any problem doing that. I don't think any woman that you would want, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Bayley, anyone, if they end up being the, sorry about that, where was I? So I think we were talking about the yeah, the whole thing with the titles being split and everything like that. That it should be, because right now we do have an undisputed tag title and we have a tag champion. We have an undisputed world champion, and we should have an undisputed women's champion. And I think that I think any of those people would be very happy being able to float from show to show. I think they rarely do that. Roman Reigns has earned the right to be our part timer, so to speak, where he shows up only when he has to, or when he wants to, or anything like that, right? He's earned that right. So has Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has earned that right. John Cena has earned that right, and I think a couple other people would have earned that right too, um, to show up when if they feel necessary. Um, but yeah, I think that's the way to be. So all of these people who are trying to figure out a way to get Sami Zayn in the main event, split the titles and everything like that. I just don't think it's going to happen. Not, if it was going to happen, there would have been something to start that ball rolling, so that it would be so that when it came down to WrestleMania, uh, it would probably be happening. Um, Now I guess some people would say it could still happen because you got a whole another month of March before the show starts, but I gotta tell you, I don't know if they can find a logical way for that to happen. I don't think they can. So I just think it is what it is. It's going to be the undisputed championships, um, and I think that's why Cody is the one to face Roman Reigns, because even still, like I mentioned, 1,000 days would be May 29th. That's Memorial Day. You could, at the very end, you can have it ended that day. You can do it that day. Maybe you can even do something where it's a special Raw that comes from Madison Square Garden, and the main event is Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, and because Cody has gotten screwed out of the title at WrestleMania, you do something. Maybe you put it, maybe you put it inside Hell in a Cell. Maybe you put it, maybe you bar the bloodline from ringside. If the bloodline makes any appearance, and any member of the bloodline, anything from the ones you see on television, Solo, Heyman, um, Jay Uso, Jimmy Uso, Alpha Seeker, anybody that is a member of the Nawahi family, and Nawahi family, make sure the face Roman Reigns automatically is disqualified and loses the championship. You can do something like that, and you can still have Cody Rhodes get his title victory and get to be able to hold that championship. And boy, I think it would be so good to have the story where it would be in Madison Square Garden. I would love that. I think that, to me, I think that would be the place that you would have you do it. But I totally understand how you might want to do it on the biggest stage, on the biggest night in the wrestling industry, and that's WrestleMania, and making maybe one of the biggest stars there is with Cody Rhodes. I totally understand that. And as a Roman Reigns fan, as someone who would love to see Roman Reigns continue his streak and continue and get to that 1,000 days, I'm coming to the, you know, it's setting in on me that this could very well still very could happen. But it's 50-50. When I do my predictions video for WrestleMania, I do not know which way I'm gonna go. Am I gonna go Cody Rhodes? Am I gonna go Roman Reigns? I just don't know right now. So it is, that's what makes it so great, and that's what the stuff that has happened that they have done with the bloodline and with Roman Reigns that makes this so wonderful. And now, as they are wrapping in Cody Rhodes and his family stuff, it is becoming amazing. And to bottom line it, there's nothing wrong with Sami Zayn. And like I mentioned, there's still a way to keep Sami Zayn white hot. But I think the story now is Cody Rhodes. The biggest story is Cody Rhodes somehow getting that WWE Undisputed Universal Championship for him, for Dustin, and for Dustin. And Monday Night's promo between him and Heyman just made it way more interesting. And I love that. Alright guys, that is it for this episode of That's a Shoot. Make sure you're here next week. It will be in the nighttime after Raw goes off, that I will be doing my Elimination Chamber prediction show. So if you have not now, first off, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And if you are subscribed and you have not hit that notification bell, go ahead and hit it so that you can get first access to when I do a video or when I do a rapid reaction, which will happen after the Elimination Chamber next Saturday. You're going to make sure you're going to be here for that, as we're going to talk about what went down. And it could be some beautiful disaster, so to speak, for Sami Zayn, and the bloodline, and all of the people. So it's just going to be amazing. So yes, please again, click the notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Do you still feel Sami Zayn should be the guy? Have you always been on the Cody Rhodes thing? Did the Monday night promo, kind of changes your mind? Is that yes, it should be Cody? Let me know down in the comments section. And once again, I want to apologize, because if this video is glitchy and stacky and things like that, I don't know. I was having trouble with the camera. One of my programs wouldn't recognize the camera, and I had to use another program, which is, because I guess I can see in the playback, it is just all types of glitchy and stocky and things like that. So once again, I apologize for that. All right, y'all. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy, AJTRIP, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out